So we're here in Cleveland, but in Menor, that is where we had another one of these EF1 tornadoes touch down and do quite extensive damage there. Our Emma Henderson is reporting live for us, live from Menor tonight. Emma, what's the latest from there?
Well, Betsy, they are definitely still cleaning up tonight. I'm going to step aside and let you see. This road has cleared up quite a bit since this morning, according to neighbors. When they woke up, they said it was covered in branches. Head down the side roads of Mentor Avenue, and you can see the destruction where a tornado ripped through part of their neighborhood.
Saw things blowing around. The sky was just lit up. Green and bluish colors. Just the lightning was just all over the place, and the wind whipping.
Spencer and his family headed down into the basement, and then he says he got a call from the neighbors across the street. A tree had just come through their roof.
Went outside and looked around to see if there was a way for them to be able to get out. Unfortunately, the front side of the home was completely blocked with the tree down, but was able to go to the back side of the house and see that there could be a path coming out of their back door.
Neighbor Albert says he thought he and his wife were goners after he saw the force of the wind outside.
It was dark, and the way things were swirling around, I headed in the house when I heard those tree branches start to go. Everything just started coming apart. The noise was tremendous.
What did it sound like?
Very loud. Yeah, like hand grenades.
The neighborhood is without power, and kids in Mentor City schools are home today as cleanup continues. But neighbors have seen progress made in clearing roads. Now it's just a matter of hearing back from insurance to see what they can do about their own property damage. And Menor Senior Center was opened at 7 this morning as an emergency shelter. They tell us about 17 people did utilize those services, but no one said they needed anything long term. So a little bit of good news there. Betsy?
All right, certainly some great news. Emma Henderson reporting live for us in Menor this evening. Thank you so much. The power outages were very extensive. At one point last night, we had over 200,000 First Energy customers without power. We are still over 100,000 First Energy customers without power today in the state of Ohio. 44,000 of those are right here in Cuyahoga County. That was at last hour. I believe we're down to 41,000 now at the 6 o'clock hour. So the crews are slowly but surely making progress in that. And the good news is, as they're putting people online, of course, the weather is definitely getting better and better. It's just going to take some time. Some folks being told they won't have power until Wednesday, so it could be 5 full days for some of our First Energy customers to get back to full power. As mentioned, the weather is getting better. I'm seeing peaks of blue sky even overhead here on the east side of Cleveland, which is some very welcome news. Matt Wintz joins us now with the latest on this forecast. And before you get to that, Matt, I want to read an email that I got just before I left the station. It's from a gal named Mary Ann, and she says, I'm almost 81 and I live alone with no family here. Your coverage last night was very helpful. At about 11:45, I went down to my basement with my lantern and my radio when you said there was a tornado warning. I was also notified on my phone, but I had no radio coverage in the basement. She went down with no notifications and waited about a half hour, came back upstairs to find she had no cable, so she couldn't get any updates. Suddenly, her phone showed a way to stream our live coverage last night. That got me through the rest of the storm, she says, and I fell asleep listening to you and finally feeling safe. That is what it's all about. We have no injuries from this. We have no deaths from this. Matt, it was a super tense situation when those storms were coming through last night. But as we mentioned to everybody, that was the last hurrah. We don't have any more storms coming in the near-term future.
Right, Betsy, absolutely. And you're right about why we do this, right? It's to save and protect property and lives. And the fact that there's no injuries coming out of any of this, with all the tree limbs flying around and all that good stuff, that is wonderful news. So that's good news moving forward. What a rough 24 hours. What a rough 48 hours, right? We had severe weather the night before. This is the line of storms as it rips south through the area. There's your confirmed tornadoes now. National Weather Service is done surveying for the day. They have to go survey it before they commit to calling it a tornado based on that damage. That's our newest one out towards Vermilion and Huron County. We were tracking that storm last night. There's your Cleveland cell, the one in Lake County near Menor, and then out towards the Bristolville area. Everyone else dealing with wind damage. That's no slack either. But we have seen improving conditions across the area today. A little bit of drizzle out at times. We've had sun peaks as well. Right now we have temperatures that are generally in the 70s area wide. The humidity is starting to come down. We measure that with dew point. So we're seeing improvement hour by hour, albeit it's a slow improvement. Where are the storms right now? Well, they're down to the south. This is where that heat boundary is. If you go downstate, it still feels like 100 degrees in Cincinnati right now. That's where the heat has been pushed to. We have no severe weather threat. In fact, we're just tracking a passing shower chance as we go throughout the weekend. So Friday night football, it goes on despite the storms for many locations. We've still got the clouds around. We do have a stray shower chance. Again, that's mainly drizzle. We're back into the 60s tonight. For those without power, we have temperatures that aren't going to be quite comfortable tonight. We'll be back into the 60s. That humidity sticks around. But tomorrow night and beyond, it gets much more comfortable as we go into the nighttime hours. We'll share that forecast with you coming up in just a couple minutes. Christy.
Oh, so grateful for those people because that's just a miserable place to be in. We hope everybody's okay. Matt, thank you so much. And thanks for all of you, what you all did yesterday. You did help so many of us.